Hey geeks, it's Josh, and I'm here today with Andrea. Today, we decided we wanted to have a little fun and count down 10 weird weapons in video games. Now, there are a lot of strange weapons out there that didn't make the list, so make sure to leave some of those in the comments below. Now, before we get started, I do want to warn you that there is a weapon on the list that's a little adult to look at, so just don't say we didn't warn you. Alright geeks, let's get into it.
10. Kingdom Hearts Keyblade.
I know it may sound silly for the Keyblade to be on this list, especially if you're a huge Kingdom Hearts fan like myself. It is something that we've all seen and probably didn't think too much of it, but it really is a strange concept if you stop and think about it for a minute. It's a massive key used to smack people around with. I'm not saying that I don't love it. It is really fitting to the whimsical nature of the game. It's just kind of weird.
9.
Binding of Isaac. Tears. Now, what could be more strange than smacking someone with a giant key? Well, throwing your own tears at them, of course. Binding of Isaac is a very unique game where you play as a young boy fighting his way through his mother's basement and so on. Of course, the game in its entirety is weird, but that's for a whole different video. In case you're new here, Andrea and I have played way too much Binding of Isaac, so we're all about the tear attacks.
8. Saints Row 4 Dubstep Gun.
Saints Row is definitely the game series to play if you like unique weapons. And this gun is actually kind of one of my favorites from Saints Row 4. So it's one of my favorite guns from one of my favorite games. That makes it pretty special. As with all Saints Row weapons, there are several different skins and colors for your effects to be. If you've done everything you can in the game, like I have, you can afford to have all your weapons have unlimited ammo. So that means that you can make those poor sprites in a simulated universe, inside a simulated universe, dance all you want to whatever style you choose.
7.
Red Dead Redemption Blunderbuss. At first glance, the Blunderbuss just looks like your typical shotgun. That is until you realize that the ammo is pieces of undead enemies. What this means is that you pick up ears, eyes, ribs, and tongues that used to be attached to zombies. In order to make one piece of ammo, you have to use 10 pieces of zombie meat, I guess. You can use the blunderbuss to destroy zombies, but it explodes them into so many pieces that you're unable to loot them anyway, so there's no source of infinite ammo there. Sorry.
6. Dead Space 2 Hand Cannon.
After completing Dead Space 2 on hardcore mode, you expect an epic weapon as a reward, don't you? Well, you certainly get something powerful. The hand cannon is a giant foam finger that explodes enemies when you point at them. That's right, when you point this silly weapon at an enemy and pull the trigger, all of their limbs pop off at once, instantly killing the enemy.
5.
Dead Rising 2 Off the Record. Pegasus. Alright, there's just something awesome about finding a pony head on a stick that you can beat zombies with. If you really want to make things magical, strap a firework to it. Then as you impale a zombie with your Pegasus stick, you create a flaming zombie firework.
4. Bulletstorm Flail Gun.
If you want to play a really fun FPS, I personally recommend Bulletstorm. It's pretty fast-paced and very silly at times, and if you get your hands on the flail gun, you'll be that much happier. Of course, there are guns that work better in certain situations, blah 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 blah. It doesn't have to be completely practical to be fun. It's a gun that shoots 2 flailball things. Come on, that's awesome. There are plenty of really cool guns in the game, so seriously, check it out.
3.
Armed and Dangerous Land Shark Gun. Now, we know Saints Row has a weapon that's pretty similar to this already, but as you'll see soon, that would make 3 of our 10 dedicated to Saints Row. I mean, we love the game, but that seems a little excessive, right? Besides, Armed and Dangerous did it first. When you pull the trigger on your already epic looking Land Shark Gun, you will see that fin you never want to see while swimming in the ocean, but on land, and heading right towards your enemies.
2. Saints Row 4 Penetrator.
Okay, here's where you should probably look away if you aren't old enough. The Penetrator, as you can imagine, is a giant bat in the shape of a floppy dildo. Sorry, a giant purple veiny floppy dildo with some huge floppy balls. There's actually another melee weapon in the game that I find to be just a little funnier, called the Rectifier Probe. It may not look quite as graphic, but when you realize exactly what the name is and go to use it, you will either be very amused or super disturbed.
1.
Red Faction Armageddon. Mr. Toots. Alright, this is by far our favorite one on the list. I mean, who doesn't want to just have an adorable mini unicorn on their shoulder to carry around, right? I mean, it might get a little heavy, but if they're like Mr. Toots and when you lift up his tail, he takes care of your enemies for you, I'm sure you can handle doing a few extra push-ups to be able to carry him. There is even a way to get this awesome weapon right at the beginning of the game. And to make things better, if you max out your plasma beam ammunition to infinite, then you can make rainbow gas beams without even having to worry about running out.
Alright geeks, that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you like what you saw, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. Share the video with your friends so we can get some more geeks over here. Don't forget to hit us up on our social media links in the description. Alright geeks, we'll see you next time.